Why officially? And why Nyasha with a swoosh making it look like it's French? Let's see if we can find out. Now I like stories, so let's make this dramatic. The year is 97, and my headmaster calls me into his office and says there's a reading competition, and we were to read something from the Bible, and it was of King Xerxes that I read as Jejes, and it was probably from some parts of Africa. I would have said Kakles, but it is well. I did come in first, and then a couple of years later, Chipao, in collaboration with UNICEF, needed a leading girl for a play called Gift for Sarah. It was a very good one. It was a fun one. And I got to speak like this. My name is Sarah. And there's a gift for me. I think my uncle didn't want me to go to school or something like that. So I did get into drama. It was some form of speaking. Fast forward, 2002, I'm minding my own business. Dukutamba Bora. My English teacher comes up to me and says, we have a public speaking competition and we don't have a junior speaker. You're going to be the one. I'm like, ma'am, I don't even have a speech written down. He says, no, don't worry. Mteoro has a speech prepared and you're going to learn it in 3 days. I learned it in 3 days. Not only did I win zone, district, provincial, also went on to the nationals. And now Zindangu International because I needed a passport. And if you lived in 2002, 2003, you know that passport was hoti property. You had to wake up many mornings to go stand in line in Makombe just to get a number. To get attended to. So it is well that I didn't go for internationals. Fast forward a little bit more to 2007, and I'm still within the same sphere of my high school. And as the head girl, I then got appointed as the junior member of parliament. Fun times. Didn't do much except for cutting ribbons at field days. And this is in Mondoro. So you'd have a field day of just cutting ribbon and celebrating 1 ton of chibage. I mean, I guess they had maybe 100 kgs the previous year. So 1 ton was great. So power to them. It's still celebrated. Get to university, not doing as much speaking as before, but as much as I could, whether it's in the local church or an event, sometimes here and there a bridal. And then I started a natural hair salon because I was blogging about natural hair. If you've been following me for a bit longer than this, particularly on this channel, I had a channel called Officially Nyashaà. And on Officially Nyashaà, I spoke about hair and all other things. And it looked like I recorded it on a Symbian. If you're wondering what a Symbian is, Google it. The quality of it was a bit questionable. Actually, stick around to the end of this episode and you'll catch some footage. This particular channel and this venture of natural hair landed me on Simba Savannah. That video is also available online. We'll sneak in the link. Years go by. I'm not doing much speaking in terms of being intentional with it, but whenever there was an event, a family event, bridals again, a wedding here and there, I would host it. Now, I'm going to rewind a little bit to 2017, and my mom has just passed away. Within 2 weeks of a funeral, I remember breaking down, crying, and feeling so much grief in that moment. But I was a bit confused because this was not the first time I lost a parent, as my father died in 2003. And I think at this point I'd learned to process grief in a better way. I then realized that while I was crying, upon just reflecting and meditating, was because both of my parents had died without knowing that something traumatic had happened to me when I was just 6 years old. And this made me very sad because I was always that chatty kid. I was the kid who could speak. But it turns out this kid who could speak had no vocabulary. Vocabulary to be able to articulate what had happened to me and to communicate how I felt about it. The chatty kid. And so when I started having vocabulary and being able to articulate and be understood as to what I'm saying, I began to appreciate this gift a little bit more. And as time has gone by, I've had amazing people speak into my life pertaining to this gift. When I started Naturally Nyasha and did the website and everything, it ran for a couple of weeks, couple of months, and then it died. I'm looking back at it. What's different this time around? About the time where we had the Naturally Nyasha, that's when the A with the swoosh came around. And that was the question that I asked when we started. What does that A stand for? Starting back from 97 with my headmaster. He's the one who called me in to set me up for this. And then Chipao, there was UNICEF and Chipao involved. And then my English teacher and Muteoro who wrote the speech. Looking at all of those, Simba Savannah, everywhere, in all of it, there were people involved. When I tried to do it on my own in 2017, it didn't stick. And so upon reflection, even though I put that A with the swoosh just because it looks cool, and then you can say my name with a little bit more exaggeration, I realize and reflect now that it actually stands for Allbodies. It stands for you, because watching this video, it stands for the family and the community that makes this what it is. They've come together, and when I approached each and every one of them to say, hey, we want to do this, they were like, well, Gil, it's about time. So I'm so excited to be on this journey. And just, to give you some backstory on this as we make this official, here's some footage of Naturally Nyasha. Hi, welcome to my channel, Naturally Nyasha, and I am Nyasha, the natural hair artist. I'm so excited. You can tell, hey, yes, I've been wanting to do this for so long, to start this channel. So finally it's here. So sorry, or should I say so sorry, or finally, to everyone who's been saying, Nyasha, put your stuff up on YouTube. Yeah, you go on YouTube and you look at the quality of the stuff and you're like, oh my gosh, how am I even gonna put up some dodge, G-type recorded video? So excited to have Allbodies join me and the team on this journey. Please like, share, subscribe, follow on any platform, and comment or something. And if you've made it this far, you're the Allbodies and the day ones. So let's make this official. Boom Dada. Nyasha out.
Official.